what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight to rename the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, in the home of the
Good evening and welcome everybody to the Turndown for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance Sport Veterans. This is the NAV 120 live from Auto Club Speedway. Well, the old Auto Club. Not quite sure what it is anymore. I think it's just a really short half mile or something like that. But hey, tonight we're talking about this big old 2-mile D-shaped oval in Auto Club, California, Fontana, California. Qualifying is about to get underway. I am Repeat. Welcome back, whether you're out there on YouTube or Twitch. After a little bit of a break, let's get down, find out what's going on with this qualifying session, see who's going to be the fastest in Fontana. Let's get down there now. Definitely hope everybody out there is doing well. Chloe Grote says, good evening, Repeat. Good evening, Chloe. Welcome for coming out, hanging out. Looking forward to chatting up. And, yeah, keeping each other company. I definitely hope all is well and in your neck of the woods. But, again, let's go on over, catch up with these guys, and see how we're doing. I see Brandon Groover, Josh Taylor, Michael LeBlanc, John Osborne, Davey Weaver, Doug King, as well as a few others lined up ready to qualify. Let's catch up with the one and only Giovanni Klein here right quick and see exactly how he's doing. You'll also be able to see how he fares in the or on that scoring pylon. Auto Club is very much a sister track to MIS, Michigan International Raceway. So you'll find that a lot of the grooves will be somewhat the same. They'll try to get pretty low in turns 1 and 2 as well as 3 and 4, and then let it wash all the way out to the outside wall, and it'll be just one long conga line on the backstretch coming off of turns 3 and 4. They'll let it eat all the way up towards that wall again, just like you see Giovanni doing there. That's really opening up the wheel, letting it carry as much momentum as possible up and off the corner, and then down across that start stripe to get the fastest time. Looks like Giovanni Klein's first lap is going to be good enough for about P4, P5. Looks like Brandon Groover in the 55 so far. He is fastest. How about we check up with the one and only Mike Pop Bear Campbell? Definitely see him out there as well. He's got a really kick butt paint scheme, which I'm very happy to bring to you. This thing looks absolutely amazing. Network Alliance Ford Veterans, my logo on the side. You see the Network Alliance Ford Veterans service seals going across the hood, and all kinds of star-spangled goodness going all the way across and back this number 71 Mountain Dew machine. Truck absolutely looks great. Again, Mike Pop Bear Campbell, owner and operator of the Turn Down for What iRacing community, and one hell of a driver as well. Chloe Grote says, let's hope it's a good evening for these guys. Chloe, you're not kidding. How about we move on up? John Osborne right now sitting P1. Jim Duda in that 053. He's out there on track. Right now he's sitting in P5 as he comes across the start stripe, and he will stay right there. All right, Andrew Chapman's out here in this number 25 monster machine. Going through turns 1 and 2, I believe. Nope, that was 3 and 4. Here we go. Going to dive on down all the way to the bottom, keeping it on the track, though, not going to the apron. And it looks like that's going to be good enough for P4. And Austin Collins in that number 74 TWRS Toyota, he went ahead and put it on the pole so far. All right. Diving on down a little bit, how about Brian Pizzakemi in his number 78? It looks like he is just going to go ahead and post a time. Not really worth much. I just think he wanted to put down a qualifying lap, maybe start in the back. How about Jose Ruiz in his Columbia number 23? Jose just now getting into turns 1 and 2. So this will be his, first lap was good enough for P13. Let's see if he could do any better on his second lap. Chloe Grote is wondering if Maddie Joy fan's here. I haven't seen Maddie as of yet, but I hope that she comes on out as well. All right, let's get rid of this yo-yo here right quick. There we go. All right. But this is going to be one hell of a race. 120 laps around this 2-mile D-shaped oval, as it looks like Jose Ruiz is gonna, that second lap is gonna be good enough for P9. So how about Tom Harmon now in his Avril Lavigne number 68 as he comes up and off 4. This is going to be either his first lap or this is going to be his warm-up lap. All right, so we're watching his first lap here. Entering really high, getting down all the way to that white line, and it looks like his lap is not going to count as qualifying is over. Alrighty then. So as you can see, everything's going to go ahead and reset, and it's going to be 120 laps here from Auto Club. Let's go ahead and clear the boards, and let's bring up our grid. All right, again, so Austin Collins in that number 74 is going to be sitting P1. John Osborne, P2 in that number 81. P3 is going to be 57 of Kenny Lind with Andrew Chapman in the 25 to his outside. Mike Miller in the 5 sitting at P5 with Brandon Groover in the 55, P6. P7 is going to be Charlie Mosley in the 89 with Josh Taylor to his outside in the 18. The 23 of Jose Ruiz, we watched him, is going to be P9 with Elric George. P10 is his number 40. P11 looks like it's going to be Jim Duda in his 053. And to round out the top 12 is going to be the 41 of Mike LeBlanc. Next for P13 is going to be Davey Weaver in the 28, with Chris Weaver in the 82 to his outside, P14. P15 is going to be Jordan Anderson in the 30 with Mike Campbell Jr., old Pop Bear himself, in the 71, 16th. 17th is going to be Giovanni Klein in the 84 with Doug King in the 87, sitting 18th. 19th is going to be Brian Pizzichemi in the 78 with Tom Harmon in the 68, 20th. Last but not least, Justin Andersgach in that number 13. I believe he's actually going to be up in the admin tower, so he won't actually be racing. So we're going to have 20 guys out here at Auto Club that are going to do their best to come across with that checkered flag. Chloe Grote says, do you think they will do good? Yep, it's 170 laps, Evan Car Guy. Yep, sure is. All right, so let's get on up. Pace Truck's about to go ahead and pull off. Again, it's going to be the 74 of Austin Collins and John Osborne in that number 81 to go ahead and take the green when Barney the Flagman is ready to set the field loose. All right, so let's go ahead and clear the board. Let's go ahead and bring your scoring pylon as well as everything else that you're going to need to make sure you are completely informed as to where your favorite driver is all night long. Chloe says this is going to be wild. You're not kidding. Very wide track that is notorious for going 2, 3, and 4 wide sometimes. I remember back in the day we had a
pretty good race. Good luck, everybody.
A 3-wide finish. I believe that might have been back on console. Not 100% sure, but it was an extremely close race.
Or something with 911 on it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Evan says this race is going to be exciting. One of my favorite tracks that we can still race even though the track is no more. Evan, you are not wrong. Jacob NASCAR says have a fun time up in the booth, Pete. Gonna try. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this on back over to Barney. He's got the green flag in hand. You see the field coming off turn 4. Pace Truck's going to go ahead and make that hard left towards Albuquerque. 20 guys ready to tackle this track. Fontana, California. Let's go. All right, so it looks like Kenny Lind in the 57. He's going to go ahead and lead that first lap. So Kenny's going to go ahead and grab a point for leading a lap pretty quick, get on up there, and maybe get into a little bit of race management and maybe just drop back. Doesn't have to get into a big old lead. Just do his best to maybe just keep the field behind him. Evan the Car Guy says, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing drivers. Absolutely. You see the 74 of Austin Collins started on pole, pulling up right behind that 57 as they come off 4. And I don't think Austin Collins was ready to concede that lead so early. He's got John Osborne and Mike Miller just behind. And as I say that, what happens? Austin Collins goes to Plaid, posting a time of 41:01, a 10th or better than the rest of the field at that point. Everybody else is in the 2s, 3s, 4s. You see a couple in the 5s and 6s. Austin Collins was not ready to relinquish that lead just yet. So we'll have to see how this all pans out. But he's definitely got a very, very fast number 74 Toyota. About the top 5, top 6 right now, all single file, going back to the 18 of Josh Taylor right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at some lap times here right quick. See how we're doing. Josh Taylor, this is lap number 4, so you just see the previous 3 laps. He was fastest than those ahead of him, and the driver that's right behind him as well. So Josh Taylor in that number 18 HendrickCars.com machine. He was talking to me a little bit in practice about how he was getting set up for this race. Absolutely loves this track. And yeah, I mean, you could see now just a line of trucks coming off turn 4, coming across the start stripe to take lap 5. All right, so this is going to be a 120 lapper tonight from Auto Club, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com, courtesy of the one and only Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our United States Navy. If you are in the greater Indiana area, if you're in Indiana or any of the surrounding states, Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross is fully able to assist you with any kind of veteran questions that you may have and what you may be eligible for, and or even just maybe you just want to talk. He is there for you. I mean, he's got all kinds of programs going on, like Leon's Heroes and a Hero Care program. You can reach out to him on Yahoo. I'll go ahead and actually put his email address out there for you right now, and then I'll also put the website for you out there also, networkallianceforveterans.com, if you want to find out more. Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross, very, very active with everything that he does. And as a veteran myself, I can tell you a lot of the programs that are out there are absolutely amazing. All right. Let's go ahead and open this back up just a tad. Looks like up front, not missing much. Kenny Lynn still leading the way to 74 of Austin Collins, sitting P2. There's John Osborne, who started outside pole right now, sitting P3 with Mike Miller right behind in the 5. Mike Miller started in P5, so he's up 1 spot. Andrew Chapman started 4th. He's back 1 in this monster number 25. Charlie Mosley in this number 89. He's up 1 spot also, right along with Josh Taylor in that number 18. Brandon Groover, who sat on that pole pretty quick, he's sitting P8 down 2. Jose Ruiz, we watched him qualify just a little. He started 9th. Well, guess what? That's exactly where he sits. But Mike LeBlanc right behind him in that 41. He started in the 12th spot. He's up 2 spots to sit P10. And then Jim Duda in the 053. Well, he started 11th, and that's right where he sits. Davey Weaver and Chris Weaver. There's Davey Weaver in that Haviland number 28, and Chris Weaver in that Fox number 8, number 82. He is sitting 13th. 14th going to be Brian Pizzichemi. Chloe wants to know, says, what are you in the booth? Yeah, I will be in the booth with Frozen tomorrow. And it's going to be from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the longest race of that season. It'll be 200 laps around the Queen City, the Beast of the Southeast, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, 200 laps from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be the oval, not the roval. So it's going to be a long night, and it's going to be one hell of a race. All right, so I mentioned Chris Weaver and also Brandon Groover back here in the 55. He's now down 8 spots. We just saw him a little bit ago. And then Tom Harmon, he's 15th right now after not being able to make his qualifying time. And Elric George in the 40 just a little bit further back. Jordan Anderson in that number 30 IROC vodka machine. If you saw that, the IROC issue that they had over the weekend, that other IROC truck got absolutely destroyed. Chloe says, she said Thursday that you'll be in the booth with her Monday. Yep, I will be in the booth with her tomorrow. Absolutely. Mike Pop Bear Campbell back here in 18th. Again with Doug King right behind Justin Aniscock. Again, he did not make the start, and neither did Giovanni Klein. So we've actually got 19 truckers out here to complete 120 laps in the NAV 120 from Auto Club. All right, let's get back up front, kind of keep up with what's going on here. Kenny Lind and Austin Collins still running 1-2. John Osborne, Mike Miller, and Andrew Chapman, nothing much has changed there. Yep, 200 laps from Charlotte Motor Speedway tomorrow evening. I believe the race kicks off right around 8:17 or 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's gonna be a long race with a packed field, no doubt. Very, very long race. And I'm absolutely looking forward to it. It'll be, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be 4 stages. It'll be every 50 laps. You could say 4, but it's actually 3 stages. So stage 1, lap 50, stage 2, lap 100, stage 3, lap 150, and then to complete the race, or stage 4, would be lap 200. We'll have to see if that's how the race is set up tomorrow, but that's what I would imagine, which means that there's the option or the possibility of somebody gaining a ton of points tomorrow from Charlotte. So we'll have to see who's able to who's able to tame the beast and keep it nice and free in 1 and 2 and not get too tight in 3 and 4 to claim max points and get the best possible finish that they can. Speaking of max points, it looks like Austin Collins is going to try to get on up here. He is all over the back end of that 57 for Kenny Lind, or maybe it's just trying to push him away a little bit. Let's take a look from John Osborne's front as soon as I can get this to switch up for me. There we go. Take a look at the from the nose cam from John Osborne. John watching those two kind of get pushed away a little bit. And this is from John Osborne's rear bumper cam. You see a whole lot of cars. Most everybody is still in this draft. So there are everybody is still in this. But unfortunately, this is one of those tracks where you don't want to lose the draft, because those that are still in it, they will be able to just go ahead and pull away. Look at Wile E. Coyote. Wonder if he's going to get caught. He's not strapped to an Acme rocket right now, so he's kind of at the mercy of how fast John Osborne can go. Looking back at the 25 of Andrew Chapman from Mike Miller's left rear. Tell you what, right now it's an all Toyota and Ford top 5. First and second is a Toyota TRD machine. Third, John Osborne in a Ford F-150. Mike Miller and Andrew Chapman right now in Toyotas. And that's before we get back to our very first Chevrolet in Josh Taylor, who, oh, by the way, he's up 2 spots to P number 6. Here he is, looking from his roof cam. You can still see the front 2 kind of scooting away a little bit, while everybody else behind them is trying to play catch-up from Jose Ruiz's front bumper. And let's see. Take a look from Brian Pizzicemi at what he sees. Brian Pizzicemi right now, he is the biggest mover, sitting back in P9 up 10 spots. As take a look from his rear deck lid. Looks like a little bit of side-by-side action right behind him between Charlie Mosley Jr. and Tom Harmon. And this is what that battle looks like. Tom Harmon looking underneath the 89 of Mosley. Up and off turn number 4. Down across the start stripe. Looks like the 89 is going to go ahead and have that position that time. But Tom Harmon, he's got a little bit of help from Davey Weaver just behind. A little bit of a battle up here also. Looks like the 81's going to be able to go ahead and get cleared, moving himself up in front of the 23 of Jose Ruiz. Up front, looks like we've got a change for the lead. Austin Collins able to get on by Kenny Lind. Let's see if we can go ahead and take a look at that pass, see exactly how that happened right now. See Austin Collins up on the high side, all kinds of momentum and speed up there. Looks like he's going to be able to set that pass up, make the pass, take the lead, and get the point for himself. So, new leader, Austin Collins, in that 74 machine. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so what do you say we go through the field again, working lap 20, which means we've got a century of laps yet to go here from Auto Club. Kind of reintroduce you to everybody, get the sights and sounds and everything of Auto Club Speedway right now. Jumping on board, jumping into the cockpit with the one and only Austin Collins. Let's go through the field. All right, let's bring it on back. Got a good bit of action here. Looks like Tom Harmon, who right now is up 12 spots, making him the second biggest mover. Brian Pizzakemi in that number 78 Silverado, still just ahead of him. He's up 13 spots. One of the guys that's down the most is going to be our pole sitter rather, Austin Collins. Right now sitting back, he's actually on pit road, so that's why he's down so many. Getting fuel on lap 27, so a little bit of strategy here. Gonna go ahead and grab 4 brand new Eagle fuel goods. Go ahead and fill it up with that Sunoco E15 fuel. Get it back out on track. He's gonna be bad fast for a while. Have to see how he does. All right. Going to be interesting to see. I mean, when he came down pit road right there, he had a pit time of 14:42. Looks like Charlie Mosley Jr., Dave Weaver, Mike Papa Bear Campbell, Jordan Anderson, Doug King, Chris Weaver, and looks like that's going to be about it right now. They've all come on down pit road for fuel and tires. Some having a little bit harder or a little bit longer, I should say, of a pit stop. Some guys were in the 16s or 17-second bracket. Most of them though in that 14-second bracket with a very, very fast pit stop, grabbing 4 in fuel. All right, back up at the front. Looks like it is going to be, as soon as I can get back there for you. Looks like it's going to be Austin Collins. He's going to pass Mike LeBlanc as he's on pit road right now. So Austin Collins going to go ahead and retake the lead in this 74 machine. There it is. That's going to put Andrew Chapman in the 25, who pit on lap 27, up to P2. Kenny Lynn 3rd. Josh Taylor 4th. Mike Miller's going to be 5th. Brian Pizzakemi in P6. P7 is going to be Davey Weaver. Davey Weaver came in on lap 26. Mike Papa Bear Campbell, he came in on lap 23. Looks like he is the earliest of the pitters of everybody else that has gone down so far. It looks like Charlie Mosley Jr. and Jim Duda both on pit road right now. And as I say that, those with some fresh tires putting down some real burner laps. How about the 5 of Mike Miller in this mostly unsponsored Toyota TRD machine? Well, the man, he just went to Plaid, posting a time of 40.95. He is the only driver so far to get down into the 42nd bracket. Not quite sure if that had a little bit to do with maybe some draft off the 18 of Josh Taylor, or if that was mostly on his own. If that had something to do with Josh Taylor, he'd have another pretty quick lap here. Nope, last lap's 41.06. So I see y'all out there between Twitch and YouTube. Who do y'all have for this evening? I know it's very, very early to tell. We got less than 100 to go here in the NAV 120 from Auto Club. But do you have a horse in this race? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Austin Collins in that 74? Is very, very strong early and is back up front. Is it going to be Andrew Chapman? Is it going to be Brian Pizzicami, who's back here in P6, up 13 spots? How about his teammate back here in the 68 Avril Lavigne Silverado? Talking about Tom Harmon. Harmon right now sitting P9, up 11 spots. Mike Pop Bear Campbell right behind him in that patriotic number 71. And then Jordan Anderson in that IROC number 30, just ahead of him, sitting P8, up 7 spots. Davey Weaver, he's going to be 2 up in that Haviland number 28, sitting 7th, up 6. We talked about Pizzicami. How about Mike Miller? He started this race P5 as he's got a whole lot of competition right ahead of him. He started 5th. Well, guess what? Running 5th right now. Austin Collins started first. He's back up front also. Josh Taylor sitting P2. He started way back in P7, right now sitting P2, up 6 spots. So Josh Taylor with a very, very fast HenryCars.com Chevy, and he's just, he's pulling this line around, but he's got almost 5 seconds to try to catch up to Austin Collins. Got a long way to go. Looking back from Austin Collins, that's going to be 1 truck a lap down. I think that's going to be the Valvoline machine. Let me see if I can go ahead and find him. I believe that's not going to be Osborne. I believe that's going to be Charlie Mosley, if I'm not mistaken. And we look ahead. Yep, there's our leader right ahead of him. So Charlie Mosley Jr. right now down 2 laps here at Auto Club early. He's got to hope for a caution to gain one of those laps back through courtesy of the waiver round. But right now he is not the truck 1 lap down. He's not the free pass truck, I should say. John Osborne in the 81, sitting 16th. He is the first truck 1 lap down. So if a caution should fly, he'd be the one to go ahead and get that lucky dog. You see Jose Ruiz right behind him. Jose right now sitting 14th, down 5 spots. He's going to have Doug King and Chris Weaver right ahead. Mike LeBlanc and John Osborne right behind.
You got it low.
Hi, Joe. Now I need a caution.
I'll just push you around here. How about that?
Chat, can you guys hear the drivers as they talk? It's very sporadic. I'm just kind of curious if you can actually hear them or if only I can hear them. There was an update to iRacing, and it used to be where I could just turn off their chat altogether. All right, so Evan says I can hear them. Okay, yeah, with the update that came out the other day, they actually got rid of the option for me to mute them. So it's almost like it's a radioactive. So kind of glad that we can't hear them. I'll have to make sure that Frozen is very much aware of that for tomorrow evening, because it kind of caught me by surprise as I was getting set up into this race this evening. But I definitely appreciate you, Evan, for confirming that for me. All right, up front, still Austin Collins leading the way. Andrew Chapman behind. with now 4.4 seconds back. So they have caught up a little bit, and it looks like the 18 of Josh Taylor has relinquished 2 spots. Kenny Lind has also got by. Kenny Lind started third, running third. Josh Taylor, he's going to go ahead and move back to P5 as he's got a whole, 4 cars, right, actually 1 car or 1 truck right to his outside and 2 just ahead of him. Mike Miller getting way up close and personal to that. HendrickCars.com, number 18 for Josh Taylor. Brian Pizzicami is going to be right behind him as, again, just a conga line of trucks going back. This is from Tom Harmon back in P7. Both him and Brian Pizzicami right now are tied for most position gained on track, both up 13 spots as the race continues to roll on. Working lap 40, which means we got 80 laps remaining here from Auto Club. Jake Hockey says hi. Hi, Jake Hockey out there in the land of YouTube. Thanks for coming out. Definitely appreciate you. Feel free to stay around. Go ahead, go on up, smash that subscribe button if you would. Make sure you leave notifications on. That way you know every time the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series goes live. Usually right around 9 p.m. on Mondays. And of course, that's Eastern time. But thanks for coming out, hanging out. Looking forward to chatting it up. And welcome aboard. All right, back up front, Austin Collins still leading the way. Just the 89 just ahead of him. Looking ahead now from Andrew Chapman, 4 seconds up. So they are catching Austin Collins. The last time I commented on that, they were 4.4 back. Now they're 3.9. So this train is coming around the bend. Thank you very much, Jake Hockey, newest subscriber to the land of YouTube. Again, definitely appreciate it. Another thing we definitely appreciate as well is the sponsor here in the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series, talking about the Network Alliance for Veterans. Lieutenant Colonel retired from our United States Army, Cecil Ross, starting the Network Alliance for Veterans to get information out there about programs that are available to veterans. He's very active in the great state of Indiana as well as the surrounding states. So if you are a veteran, you need to know what kind of programs are available to you. Again, networkallianceforveterans.com, and it'll also send you his email address as well. That way you know how to reach out to Colonel Ross and ask him whatever questions you may have. Or maybe you're not a veteran. Maybe you know somebody that is a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, mother, father, whatever. Make sure you share this information as much as you can. And again, big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross for everything that he does for our veterans and the programs that he supports, such as Leon's Heroes, the Hero Care Program, and so much more. Look him up, send him a shout, thank him for his service, thank him for everything that he does for our veterans. Snap that salute, step back, about face, and away you go. All right, so down to 3.5 seconds is this pack to 25, continuing to pull them on up. Kenny Lind decided he was going to go ahead and go high, but it looks like Josh Taylor is going to be able to pick him up. Brian Pizzicami back here in the 78. Still, now he's up 14 spots, so he takes over the biggest mover spot. Jake Hockey says, do you do sprint car races or dirt racing? I have broadcasted for both, absolutely. Not in this series, though. These guys are mostly asphalt. They do occasionally do a little bit of Eldora or Bristol dirt, places like that. But I have broadcasted on dirt before. I think the last one I did was for the Chili Bowl. Little ways back. All right, so Josh Taylor now up to P4, up 4 spots, keeping an eye on everything that is ahead of him. The 78 also down low, trying to get back there, and it looks like they're going to be able to line up again right behind the 25. Now, and it looks like the gap between first and second staying a very, very even 3.5 seconds. Looks like Mike Miller, he's going to be back here. He's kind of the caboose on this little bit of a train. Tom Harmon a little ways back. You can see Mike Miller, he's 4.5 seconds back with the little group that he's with. Tom Harmon, though, he's way back in 7th, almost 10 seconds behind our leader, Austin Collins. Jordan Anderson in his IROC number 30. He's got the 40 of Elric George. Elric George, the Nassau Assassin, as they used to call him back in the day, back in the console days. The guy, I tell you what, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would love to wake up and see the views that Elric George sees every single day down in Nassau, Bahama. Those crystal blue waters and I could just imagine his everyday jaunt to work and back. It's got to be absolutely beautiful. One of these days, I'm going to ask him to send me some pictures of some of his views from the Bahamas. It's got to be absolutely beautiful. Dave Weaver in that Texaco Haviland machine just behind. He's up 3 spots, sitting P10. As it looks like the 40 may try to look underneath the 30, and I don't think he's going to have it. I think the 30 is going to have the exit, and is going to keep Elric George right there in P9. Davey Weaver, he's right now sitting P10, up 3 spots, like I just mentioned, with Jose Ruiz just a little bit further back. Jose is 11th with Doug King just behind. Doug King and his Guns N' Roses, his GNR. Number 87 Silverado. This is what it looks like from his roof cam. Across the start stripe. Working lap 49 of 120, getting closer and closer to lap 60 and that halfway mark. And as you can see, very, very spread out ahead of him. Andrew Chapman looking ahead at the leader, and the one truck that he's got a lap down up there. And we catch up with Austin Collins. Still that Valvoline Express Care Old Farts Sim Racing number 89. Again, 89 for Charlie Mosley Jr. and everything that he's got going on. Looks like Charlie Mosley Jr. is going to go ahead and dive way low. 74 to his outside. So it looks like the 74 is going to be able to go on by. And, yep, he is clear. So that's going to put Mosley back down 2 laps. When he was ahead of the 74, he was just 1 lap down. Jake Hockey says, I got to go. Bye. Bye, Jake. Thanks for coming out, buddy. Definitely appreciate you. Come on back anytime. Or if you want to go back and watch any of the previous races that I've ever broadcast, you can do so either on Twitch or on YouTube. Just take a look. The whole library is right there. Allison Miller says, let's go, Miller. How about Mike Miller up here right now in P6 in this number 5? He's kind of lost touch with the rest of the top 5. This is the view from his nose cam. You can see them all now in the center of turns 3 and 4. He's trying to catch up, but it looks like he's got a little bit tighter of a truck. Might have wore out the right front. He's not quite turning in the way that it was. But still a good run from Mike. He started in P5. He's only down 1 spot to P6. So still a solid run for Mike Miller. And there's still more than half a race left. He may be able to get on up there. This is from Brian Pizzakemi's view and his roof cam. You see Josh Taylor, Andrew Chapman, and Kenny Lind just ahead. Those three still drafting and trying to stay in line, trying to make a whole lot of hay to get on up there to the leader, as it looks like Davey Weaver and Mike Papa Bear Campbell have brought their machines down pit road for the second round of green flag pit stops. 71's going to go ahead and pull it into his stall. Here's the 28 Texaco machine. He's down and away. Let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit with this 28 and watch his exit.
All right.
'87's pitching here. Chris, I'm going to be pitching here. I'm going to come down to your left side here.
Tom Harmon also on pit road in his Avril Lavigne number 68. He's up and away. Austin Collins looks like he's also bringing his number 78 TWRS setups machine down pit road also. Jordan Anderson looks like he's going to try to whoa and slow up that IROC vodka number 30. And it looks like Doug King, he's going to go ahead and follow also. So again, round number 2 of green flag pit stops underway here from Auto Club, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. All right, so Kenny Lind in that 57, he is back up front. He led the first couple laps, and now he's got a whoa and slow that machine up, getting that Toyota under control, and just a little bit too much brake. He's going to slam the inside wall. Hopefully not too much damage. Just a little bit too much brake bias, and that is what will happen when you have to lock him up. He tried to be very, very aggressive getting on pit road, and it just didn't work. Looking at the front end, doesn't really look like a whole lot of damage to that Liquid Death Mountain Water Toyota TRD machine. That number 57, again, very, very strong.
Watch out. Stay high, Jordan.
All right, so Andrew Chapman on pit road. Josh Taylor, he's on and off pit road. You see the 25 right behind. So those two going to come off nose to tail. They've really got to wrap that apron going through turns 1 and 2. Cannot get up on track. You have to wait until you pass the blue blend cone before you do that. Otherwise, you will get a black flag, and you got to come on down pit road. I believe the penalty is just a pass-through, but you will lose all the track position that you gained. Mike Miller, our new leader in that number 5 machine, he's going to whoa it down to the attention of his crew. You see the right sides go on up. You see John Osborne in that 81 go screaming on by. Then the left sides in the 5 go on, filling it up full of fuel. He'll go ahead and grab his exit, grab a gear, get up, get going as quick as he can without speeding. Again, follow that apron all the way through. Keep it below that white line so you don't get in trouble and you don't have to make a second trip down pit road. So the 5 down and away, and we'll have to see where he figures as this green flag round of pit stop continues on. The 74 of Austin Collins, who came in on lap 53, well, he's back in the lead with almost 6 seconds over the 18 of Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor has the 25 of Andrew Chapman right up his trumpet going into turns 1 and 2. Josh Taylor way up high. 25 is going to go ahead and dive down. Venomized says, repeat 1975. What console? This is actually iRacing, but I was at one point on console. Originally, it was, I think it was like XX Repeats 88 XX or something like that. But yeah, I was on Xbox for a while. I think the very first NASCAR game I played was NASCAR 07, but the very first NASCAR game I played on live was probably NASCAR 09, arguably one of, if not the best console game ever for racing. All right. So now 5.7 seconds between Josh Taylor and Austin Collins. Austin Collins has just been absolutely scooting away. 41-19 for Andrew Chapman and 41-11 for Brian Pizzakemi. Both of those guys just ran their fastest laps, right along with Mike LeBlanc back here in this racechoice.com number 41. Mike LeBlanc back in P15, down 3 spots from where he qualified in that Ford F-150. I tell you what, if you're a fan of the different manufacturers and how they and how they stack up on any given race, let's actually take a look at who is where in all this. Let's take a look here. There you go. So you see a Toyota leading the way. Chevy is second. Toyota third. A couple more bow ties in fourth and fifth. A few more Yodas in there, sixth and seventh. Your first blue oval right now sitting eighth with the 28 of Weaver. Then you got another bow tie for ninth with Anderson, and then Jose Ruiz brings up the top 10 in another Toyota. So Toyota's right now very strong, kind of tied with the bow ties of Chevrolet. Only one blue oval right now in the top 10, again with the 28 of Weaver. And here is Davey Weaver in that Haviland number 28. All right, so Austin Collins started this race from the pole, and he is just continuing to put pressure on the rest of the field. Just under 5, or just over 5 seconds, little under 5.5 seconds between Collins and Taylor. Chapman in the 25. Third, Brian Pizzakemi. He's up 15 spots to get into the top 5. He's got Thomas Harmon right there with him. Both of those guys right now would be tied for most position gains. This race has gone green the entire way as we are just getting past halfway, working lap 62 of 120. So we have been all clean and green since the beginning. And I tell you what, the way that these guys are getting after it, anything can happen. But it's been a very, very, very entertaining race, to say the least. Austin Collins is so far, he has absolutely dominated this race. I'm waiting to see if anybody can get on up there, or if it's going to take a mistake from Austin Collins to catch up. I'm sorry, to be caught, I should say, by Andrew Chapman. Here's from the rear bumper cam of Andrew Chapman looking back at Josh Taylor, and if we look ahead from Andrew Chapman, it's nothing but clean track. That's what 5.1 seconds looks like up to P number 1. You can't even see him. If we look back from Austin Collins, that's what he sees. He's got the whole straightaway back to P2. There come tracks that absolutely just fit some of these drivers. And it really looks like Auto Club completely fits right in the wheelhouse of the number 74 of Austin Collins. Really nobody has had anything for him. The way that he's been able to get on pit road, get off pit road, carry max speed to his pit and exiting his pit without getting in trouble. This guy has been absolutely flawless so far. In fact, something tells me if I take a look down the side of his truck, probably won't even see his scrape. Let's take a look down that other side. Let's take a look down the right side. So,
I love repeat 1975.
So yeah, not anything on the right front, and take a look at the right rear, not a single scratch. Looking pretty good. Mike Pop Bear Campbell a little bit further back right now, sitting P15, up 1 spot in his number 71 Ford F-150. See a little bit of a interesting logo there on the right-hand side. I tell you what, I absolutely love this guy. Let's take a look from his rear bumper. Nobody anywhere near him. And if we look ahead from him, you see Mike LeBlanc a little bit further up there, but no real traffic. So right now, Mike is actually in a pretty good spot. He can hit the lines that he needs to hit to carry max speed up and off the corner, hit his line to get into the corner, and carry as much speed as he can up and off. So Mike's actually in a really good position, just needs track position or may need a caution to come out to catch up to the rest of everybody else. But so far, they have all kinds of clean air for Mike Papa Bear Campbell in this this number 71 Ford F-150. See if we can actually take a look at this truck. Here's the back end. You see across the rear wicker it says "turn down for what" with the twin towers on the tailgate. If we take a look at the side here, you see Network Alliance Ford Veteran Mountain Dew, my logo, and on the hood you see the crests for all the military services: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and even the Space Force. So again, this all goes back to the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series sponsor of the Network Alliance Ford Veterans at networkalliancefordveterans.com. Again, this is the NAV 120 live from Auto Club. Originally, this race was supposed to be Keene, or was it Kern Speedway? But the setup wasn't provided in time, so there was a vote put out there, and most of the drivers within the Turn Down for What community chose to race Auto Club, now a defunct track. Track right now is in the middle of being torn up and turned into another short track. So here at Auto Club, again, sister track to Michigan, and Mike Papa Bear Campbell still sitting in 15th, up one spot from where he qualified, looking pretty good. All right, let's go back up front. Austin Collins still leading the way with now 4.1 seconds back to Andrew Chapman. So I don't think we'd yet be able to see Andrew anywhere near close. I mean, you can see that he's got a little more than half the backstretch to himself. But if you look at or off of the nose cam of Andrew Chapman, they can start to see that 74 is getting closer and closer. But what's happening is as these guys get closer and closer, they burn into the next fuel run. And then Austin Collins is able to extend that lead yet again. And then Andrew Chapman, Josh Taylor, and Brian Pizzichemi, they get lined up and they try to run him back down. And by the time they run him down a little bit more, it's time for another fuel run, or time for another pit stop. So right now it really seems like unless something happens, Austin Collins may be the one we're talking to a little bit later on for podium finishers. Whether it's Andrew Chapman and Josh Taylor to round out the top three, that is yet to be seen. But there is no doubt whatsoever that Austin Collins has one of, if not the, truck to beat. All right, so those three still lined up, pushing nose to tail, taking a couple of different lines, are they, to basically not get caught up in too much dirty air. Each of them searching around just a little bit. That way they don't completely burn up the right front. 25, 18, 78. Behind these guys, you're going to have Tom Harmon back here. He's got the 5 of Mike Miller right behind. Mike Miller is still right there in P6 after starting P5. Kenny Lind, who we saw have a little bit of an issue getting onto pit road, he's still sitting in 7th. Jose Ruiz sitting in 8th. Jordan Anderson 9th. And Davey Weaver in that number 28 Ford right now sitting P number 10. All right, so how about we do another little crank it up session? We'll start up front, work our way through the field. Actually, I take that back. We'll do that here in just a little bit. It looks like green flag pit stops back underway. I believe it's going to be stop number 3. These guys do have 5 sets of tires to go over the wall this evening. So every single set will be used as the race rolls on. All right, so 18 down and away, absolutely smoking him as he leaves his pit stall. Kenny Lind in his number 57. Looks like he was able to get in pretty clean that time. And so far right now, those are the only two who have come on down for 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods. Go ahead and top it off with that Sunoco E15 fuel and come on back out as you see the 68 and the 5 go flying on by as the 57 again has to wrap the bottom until he gets to that blue commitment cone right there, and then he can join the track when clear to do so and get back into the race. Austin Collins was last on pit road on lap 53, so if these guys are going 20 to 29 laps on a tank of fuel, what you saw there with the 18 and the 57, they might have just been going down pit road to get new rubber sooner than the 74. Try a little different strategy. Get on out there. If the 74 is out there for another 9 laps, give or take, that means that the 18 and the 57 are going to have newer rubber and may be able to make up more time on the 74. We'll have to see how that works in their favor, or if it's going to be for naught because it was only the 2 of them. So with them going down pit road, that put them back to P13 and P14, but they are still nose to tail. Looks like they were able. No, actually, looks like the 78 was able to go with them. Let me take a look and see when the 78 was last on pit road. Brian Pizzakemi was last on pit road lap 55. So no, he didn't go down with them. They just happened to come back out on track right where the 78 still was. But because the 78 is on older tires, he's not going to be able to keep up with the likes of the 18 and the 57. 57 is going to be back here. So it looks like maybe that 57 machine for Kenny Lind does have some damage on front because he was not able to keep up with the 18 of Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's right now sitting P12. And let me see, his last lap was a 41.35. The leader's last lap, Austin Collins, was a 43 flat. So that just goes to show the kind of time difference that 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods makes here at Auto Club. Josh Taylor actually catching up to our leader. And right now, Josh Taylor's 1 lap down. By him getting on by the 78, that's going to go ahead and put him back on the lead lap. So we'll have to see where the 74 falls to when he comes off pit road after making his next pit stop. And it won't be his last. So there's some varying strategy. You have to see how it all works out. All right, so it looks like it was just the 18 and the 57 that went down pit road. So I mentioned before about a little bit of a crank it up session and going through the field. Let's go ahead and do just that right now. We'll start off with our leader, Austin Collins, work our way through the field, enjoy the sights and sounds of Auto Club. Let's go.
87.50.
Anyone putting in, anyone putting in.
All right, we are back. A little bit of crank it up session. So hopefully, if you got a nice TV or a nice set of Bluetooth speakers, whatever the case may be, you were able to go ahead and crank it up. Listen to the sounds of Auto Club and all the different camera angles and those that are shifting, getting on and off pit road and do whatever they're doing. As Mike Miller in this number 5 Toyota TRD machine brings it on down pit road from the lead, Josh Taylor. So here is the benefit of him pitting several laps before the 74 of Austin Collins. Austin Collins is going to be behind him, but by 0.8 and closing. So Josh Taylor was able to get on up there, lead a lap, gain a point for doing so, and get the 74 of Austin Collins behind him. So now Austin Collins, he's going to have to deal with the dirty air from the 18 of Josh Taylor with a new fastest lap out there. How about a 40.89 for Andrew Chapman in that 2.5? Looks like the 18 is going to have nothing for the 74 as he comes steamrolling on by. Josh Taylor came in on lap 71. Austin Collins came in on lap 79. So 8-lap fresher tires is going to mean a world of difference when we're talking about being able to take track position at will later on in a race. Working lap 85 of 120. So Josh Taylor went down on lap 71. He's saying roughly 25 laps. We'll say he comes down on lap 96. All right, so from 96, he can go to 120. So he can go down, take his last set of tires, and come on out and have to deal. He was able to stay ahead of Austin Collins for a couple laps. So it may be very, very interesting to see just how that all works out. Mike Ramsett says, been pretty awesome as usual, Pete. Definitely appreciate you, Mike. As always. Guys and girls, I haven't talked about this yet tonight, but I definitely need to. The Alpha 1 race coming up on August 5th in the Xfinity cars. A little bit of a change for this benefit race. They were saying that you had to have a team, 2, 3, or a max of 4 drivers. $10 per driver. Talladega full-length race. Again, in the Xfinity cars. You're not going to want to miss it. If you want to get on out there and race with a whole host of people that are all about Talladega, that style racing, getting on out there, seeing who your who you're going to be able to beat. Who's it going to be that is able to go the full distance without their car getting completely junked? It's going to be a phenomenal race for a phenomenal cause, and there's going to be plenty of awards, I guess you could say, that are going to be given away. Everything from die-cast, hoodies, hats, all kinds of different swag. You're not going to want to miss it. Again, August the 5th at Talladega, a full 500-mile race. It's going to be absolutely awesome. If you want to know more about it, or if you want to race alone, that's the biggest change. Or if you have a team of 2 or 3 or 4, make sure you get on out there. $10 per driver. $20 for a team of 2, $30 for a team of 3, $40 for a team of 4. Reserves your seat in what's going to be a phenomenal race. Make sure you get on out there. I'd love to see you on track. I think last week I offered to race with John Honeycutt. And we'll see if that still comes to fruition. It depends on how or what kind of a status my rig is in. Unfortunately, with the move I'm going to be making up to New York State, I don't know if my rig will be all put together or if it's going to be in pieces by then, but we will see. So again, if you want to know more about it, you can either send me a whisper here on Twitch. You can hit me up on Discord. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger. Anywhere you want, and I'll get you in touch with the one and only Mike Ramsett or Mike Allen, and we'll get you all squared away. He says 1 to 4 drivers. If you can run 5 hours by yourself, have at it. Yeah, no, not me. But anyway, back at the farm, Austin Collins has been able to retake the lead. We've been sitting on the 18 of Josh Taylor for a while. He's up 6 spots again to sit P2. Andrew Chapman, that was up there with the 18, right now finds himself P3. Brian Pizzichemi up 15 spots. He is now officially the biggest mover of the race as Tom Harmon has fallen back a spot or 2. Kenny Lind here sitting P5 in that 57. Great recovery for him after bouncing off the inside wall on the second to last pit stop. Tom Harmon, he's up 14 spots in that Avril Lavigne number 68. And this guy has been digging all race long as him and Kenny Lind, a little bit of a battle. Side by side going into 1. Looks like the 68 is going to be able to take that spot. Last time Tom Harmon was on pit road was lap 79. Kenny Lind, we saw him on pit road with the 18 of Josh Taylor. So again, that is the difference in tires. Between lap 71 and lap 79, we're talking 8 lap fresher tires, and the 68 is just going to be able to come on up and take over P5. That puts him again in a tie for the biggest mover between him and Brian Pizzichemi. Pizzichemi up 15, Harmon up 15. Others that are behind them that are also most notable. Back here is going to be Doug King sitting 11th. He is up 7 spots. Jordan Anderson back here in the IROC Vodka number 30 Silverado. He's up 6. You've got Josh Taylor sitting 4th. He's up 4 spots. Andrew Chapman, he's up 2, sitting 2nd. And then we're going to have Davey Weaver in 10th. He's up 3. Chris Weaver, he's up 2 spots, sitting 12th. And then Mike Pop Bear Campbell, again, we talked about him a little bit ago. He's sitting here in P15, also up 1 spot. Jose Ruiz, he's up 1 spot, sitting 8th after starting the race 9th. But all night long, it's been this guy right here in the 74 Toyota TRD machine for Austin Collins as we're getting closer and closer to 25 laps to go. This is all Austin Collins' race unless for some reason he makes a mistake or we have a caution to where we get all racked and stacked back up. But as you can see there by the track map on the bottom right-hand side, there is a truck, pretty much all different parts of this track And we still have, what do we have out here still? We still have 16 trucks on track. Mosley is out of the race. Jim Duda's out of the race. Brandon Gruber, Giovanni Klein, and Justin Anisgok never actually started the race. So very, very unfortunate. But yeah, 19 truckers here at Auto Club, and nobody has had anything for Austin Collins. These two still trying to get something going. They're not going to battle just yet. Still a little too early for that. Brian Pizzacchemi just comfortable sitting behind the 25. He just has to take a different line in the corners or back it up a little bit so he's not in all kinds of dirty air, having to put a little bit of extra wheel in it and completely shredding the right front tire. And, of course, just as I say that, 78, he decides that he's going to try to pull side by side, but 25 just gets a better launch up and off the corner. So the 78's able to pull to the inside going in the corner. It looks like from center off, it gets a really good run. This time, 25 comes all the way down, seals off that line, dumping all kinds of dirty air on the nose of the 78 Silverado. Nothing doing that time by as we get to 24 laps remaining. Started this race with 120 for the NAV 120, the Network Alliance for Veterans.com 120 here from Auto Club. And this right now is the battle for P2. Tom Harmon, he's way back here. You saw the 71 of Mike Pop Bear Campbell, one of the lap down trucks back there. Behind Tom Harmon, not much else is doing, except for Avril Lavigne on the truck bed, of course. And even Joey Logano gives it a big old thumbs up. How about that? Looks like it's going to be Kenny Lind behind him. Looks like Mike Pop Bear Campbell, he's going to go ahead and bring it on down pit road to the attention of his crew for the last time in this race with 23. And as he 23 laps to go since the leader has already gone by. It looks like Chris Weaver, he's already on pit road in his number 82. And let's see. Chris Weaver, yep, he's leaving pit road. Mike Miller in the 5 Toyota. He's coming to the attention of his pit crew, sliding him all the way into his box. And you see the right sides go up. That comes on back down. You see the left sides go up. That'll go ahead and drop as you see Mike Pop Bear Campbell come driving on by. So Mike Miller, he's going to fall right now to about P13. But with those newer tires, for anybody ahead of him that has not yet come on down pit road, he should be able to make up some positions. Those that have not yet been down pit road is going to be, actually, it looks like most everybody was down on 79 or 80, 81, 82, right around there. So with Mike Miller coming down on lap 97, he's going to be able to jump over quite a few on those brand new Eagle Feel Goods. All right, here is, again, that battle for P2, the 78 and the 25. The truck behind him, the 18, that is Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was last on pit road lap 95. So he's got some fresher tires, so he's going to be able to pull low and get on by, and he's going to have the tires to go to the end. It's going to be interesting to see where he is in comparison to our leader once our leader goes down pit road. Austin Collins was last on pit road lap 79 as Tom Harmon brings his Avril Lavigne Silverado down pit road. You see him getting a little squirrely. That means he's trying to be as aggressive as possible, getting to the commitment cone and carrying max speed all the way to his pit box. And then once a stop is completed, he'll go ahead and gas it up, grab a gear, get going, and again, carry max speed all the way to the end of pit road. Stay on the apron all the way through turns 1 and 2, so he doesn't get any kind of a black flag for merging too soon. Let's actually go ahead and take a quick ride with him off of pit road. Let's go. You see him carrying as much speed as he could off of pit road, and at one point got a little loose as the 5 of Mike Miller comes screaming on by. So Mike Miller, that was for P12. Tom Harmon right now back in P13. Looks like Austin Collins, Andrew Chapman, Brian Pizzakemi, Jose Ruiz, Doug King, Elric George, and yep, so basically the top 6 have yet to go down pit road for their final stop of the race. So when those guys all go down pit road, depending on how long it takes, Josh Taylor right here in this number 18, look who he's battling, just like he was before. He's getting his lap back from the 74. So the 74, it would be very, very wise of him to come on down pretty soon. Grab that last set of tires as they're coming to 17 laps to go. Grab that last set, come on out, and see how he fares with the 18. The 18, very, very strong, and he's shown it all night long. For the most part, been inside the top 5. So if the 18 can stay right there, he'll be all right. That was Mike LeBlanc in that 41 coming up and off of pit road back here. He's going to be able to blend in, maybe get a little bit of a draft off that 74. It'll be interesting to see when the 74 decides to come on down pit road to grab his last set of tires and fuel. Here he comes. Max speed, not getting squirrely at all. Great entrance for this number 74. All right, so with all that being said and done, looks like Brian Pizzakemi also came down pit road. So Jose Ruiz in the number 23, he's going to flash on by and lead a lap. Actually, no, he didn't lead that one because Austin Collins was already ahead of him on pit road. So Jose Ruiz will have to complete one more lap if he's going to try to lead a lap. And it'll be Elric George to get on by Pizzakemi and Collins if he does so. Let's see if he stays out. And yes, he does. So that moves Elric George up to P number 2. Josh Taylor up to P3. And with everybody else that is pit, it looks like Austin Collins and Josh Taylor will be the fight. With 16 laps to go, there is a 2-second gap between Josh Taylor and Andrew Chapman. And from Josh Taylor back to the 74 of Austin Collins is 3.5 seconds. So can the 74 make up 3.5 seconds in 15 laps, coming to 14? It's possible, but this 18 may be playing this very, very nicely as he tries to get in behind the 41 of Mike LeBlanc. Maybe carry just a little bit more speed off the corner, get a little bit of draft help, try to stay up there as long as he can. Our new leader, though, talking about the number 40 again of Elric George, the Nassau Assassin from Xbox days. Old Bossy Gio in this number 40 Ford F-150. So Elric decides he's going to go ahead and stay out, maybe get a caution. If the caution should fly, that would keep everybody from 14th, which is LeBlanc, in the 41 on back, 1 lap down. So, he's got a little bit going for him as Austin Collins went ahead and posted the fastest lap of the evening with a 40.79. So Austin Collins feeling pretty good about his Toyota, and maybe feels like he doesn't have to worry about the long run this evening. He can really try to get on up there, get after this lap, and get that lead back. So again, last lap was a 40.79, 40.8. Fastest lap of the race. And if we look back from Josh Taylor's truck, there you go. 78. Yep. 74 going to come screaming on by. Nothing at all that Josh Taylor can do about it. Only thing he can do is try to tuck right in behind and try to keep as many positions as he can. 13 to go. Elric George yet to go down pit road for his last stop. Last time he was on pit road was lap 82. So he's going to have to come on down pretty soon. No sense in staying out anymore. All you're really doing from this point on is really just losing time. Once Elric George goes down pit road, it'll hand P3 over to Andrew Chapman. It looks like Andrew Chapman's going to be able to take the spot just on pure speed alone. Last time Andrew Chapman was on pit road, lap 103. Brian Pizzicchemi was on lap 104. Tom Harmon was on lap 100. Jose Ruiz was lap 105. Jordan Anderson right behind him was lap 101, right along with Davey Weaver and the 41 that we saw earlier from Mike LeBlanc. John Osborne also down pit road right now. All right, Elric George bringing his number 40 to the attention of his crew for the last time as he comes across the line with 11 laps to go. This will definitely put him one lap down as the night rolls on. But again, nobody has had anything for this guy right here. Austin Collins and Auto Club just seem to be the perfect match. Ten laps to go into turns 1 and 2. 3 seconds now over Andrew Chapman as you see that 18 just behind. So Andrew Chapman almost slightly tagging that wall just a bit with the right rear, but able to keep it off. You got the 18 of Josh Taylor right behind. Brian Pizzicchemi in that number 78 TWRS machine sitting P4. P5 is going to be Tom Harmon. So it seems like as Pizzicchemi and Harmon have moved on up, they've just been getting better and better with each and every pit stop. Pizzicchemi now taking over P3 up 16 spots, able to get on by the 18 of Josh Taylor. 9 to go from Auto Club. 78 applying all kinds of pressure to 25. 25 is going to come on down the track and try to pinch him down. Just not able to get back in the throttle. Looks like he's kind of tight right there. 78 is going to be clear. So move Pizzicchemi up 17 spots to P number 2. 25 Andrew Chapman trying to stay right there in his wake. He's going to go ahead and throw it inside. This is the battle for the runner-up or the second spot on the podium. 25 getting a little loose, having to chase it up the track. 78 able to hold him off, keeping in his line. No contact between the two. Josh Taylor just watching all of that unfold right in front of him. He's got to be hoping that something would happen. So far, this race has been all caution-free. 7 laps to go from Auto Club. 19 truckers on track. Giovanni Klein unable to make the start. Brandon Groover was the first one out of the race. Jim Duda joined him shortly after. Charlie Mosley was also a retiree. And then, of course, you got Mike Papa Bear Campbell in this number 71, sitting 16th, right where he started on the evening. He's got the 57 of Kenny Lind right ahead of him. Kenny Lind right now sitting in the P6 spot. And as you can keep up with that scoring pylon scrolling on the left-hand side, you can see that only the top 11 are still left on the lead lap. The 74 Toyota of Austin Collins has been putting up a blistering pace all night long. 5 to go. Next time by 4.1, now 4.2 seconds between Austin Collins and Brian Pizzicemi. Brian Pizzicemi and Andrew Chapman, they're close to each other, but not close enough to really try to push. These guys, I don't want to say they're comfortable with where they are right now and their podium finishes and the points that they're going to receive, but I don't know if the 25 has used up his stuff and not able to keep up with the 78 anymore. Both Brian Pizzicemi was down pit road lap 104. Andrew Chapman was down on lap 103. So one lap fresher tires really isn't going to mean a whole lot here. But it does as the long run comes into play. When those guys went down pit road, there was only 16 or 17 laps remaining here in the NAV 120, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at the networkallianceforveterans.com. Big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of NAV. There we go. And is full and complete sponsorship of the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series. This is a great community, been a part of it for many years, and looking forward to many more. All right, so it looks like the leader, he's set sail. 4.2 up on Pizzicemi. Then behind Pizzicemi, it's another 7/10 back to P3. Josh Taylor P4. He's 4 seconds behind. Then Tom Harmon, he's still up 15 spots in that Avril Lavigne number 68 Silverado. He is several seconds back also. 10.7 seconds back to be exact. All right, so we'll stay right here with our leader as he came across the line that time. Took 2 laps remaining. Really nothing ahead of him. Nothing really behind him either. He's not going to have to worry about the dirty air coming off of turns 3 and 4 this time. And if that gap continues on for the final lap, which he's coming to take this time, he's not going to have to worry about dirty air in front of him either. If we take a look behind him, nothing at all. The car that's right behind, that is not Brian Pizzicemi. Brian Pizzicemi is 4.4 seconds back. That's a lap car behind. And as he takes the white flag, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans, this is it. Lap 120 of 120 here from Auto Club. This guy will walk away from Auto Club with a huge shot in the points, leading the most laps. Very strong, pretty much error-free. We checked his truck earlier. No scrapes, no touching the wall, nothing at all, anything. As he comes off of turn number 4, Austin Collins will win at Auto Club.
Good one, Austin.
All right, looks like it's going to be Brian Pizzicemi for P number 2. Andrew Chapman's going to be 3rd. Josh Taylor is going to be 4th. And then Tom Harmon back here in the Avril Lavigne number 68. He will be P number 5. All right, let's bring it on up to that 74. As you see Brian Pizzicemi come on up. Going to maybe give his teammate a little bit of a bump in the tailgate, say congratulations, or maybe just pull up next to him. You'll hear him maybe rev on the motor a little bit as congratulations. 74 will go ahead and prepare to burn him on down and celebrate as he should. Let's go ahead and clear the boards. It's all on him. Austin, light him up.
Congrats, Austin.
All right, Austin going to go ahead and bring it on back to the start stripe and shut it down. Grab his team photo. And again, big congratulations to Austin Collins on his win here this evening. Extremely dominant. We will be right back with our top 3 live from the booth. We'll start off with Andrew Chapman bringing that number 25 home P3 up 1 spot from where he started. Brian Pizzakemi will bring it home P2, officially the biggest mover of the evening, up 17 spots. And then Austin Collins setting off this W from the pole this evening. We will be right back. Don't anybody go anywhere. All right, legends, we are back at our top 3 live in the booth. Going to kick it off again with Andrew Chapman driving the number 25 Toyota TRD machine. Again, up 1 spot. Started tonight 4th. Going to bring it home. Last step on the podium. Andrew, you and that number 25 looked very, very stout. I mean, it seemed like you stayed inside the top 5 all night long. Of course, excluding green flag pit stops, which is what we had all night long. Ran this completely caution-free. Walk us through your race, a little bit of strategy, and what this finish means as we get past the halfway point in the season.
Well, we'll see what it does in the points, since Harmon finished outside the top 3 for once, so that's nice. But it was a straightforward race, 4 tires every time. I tried to do something different that last run and take 2 tires just to see what it'd do, but it didn't do anything good. So just one of those ride around all night races. That's about it. So
I mentioned very, very early in the broadcast that Auto Club is pretty much a sister track to Michigan. It seems like if you're pretty good at Michigan, you're gonna be pretty good at Auto Club. This track now, defunct, in process of becoming another short track in the country. Do you prefer this layout, or are you excited to see what the new Auto Club brings?
I'll be excited to see what it brings. I wish they would have got rid of Michigan and kept this track instead, but whatever. So we'll see what it does.
All right, buddy. Well, definitely looking forward to see how you fare again in the points and how you fare next week. Speaking of next week, as I search for the schedule, there we go. Looks like after what was supposed to be Kern Speedway this evening, next week we go to Lime Rock. How you feeling about a little twisty turny track?
Well, I don't know if you remember the last time we went to a road course, but I think it was 3 laps in, and I came and joined you in the booth. So, not looking forward to it.
Yeah, don't do that again, okay?
Well, you might get some company next week. That's not my strong point.
If that's the way that it works out, then that's the way that it works out. Just like I told John Honeycutt last week when he joined me for our race, I won't turn you away, sir. Congratulations on your P.
It might be safer for everyone if I do
that. Congratulations on your P3. We'll see you next week, sir.
All right, see you, Pete.
All right, rolling on up to the biggest mover of the evening. Again, up 17 spots, talking about the Silverado for Brian Pizzicami. Brian, this we watched you have to motor your way through the field all night long, and you were just taking spot after spot. It just looked like that 78 was on rails, almost as much as the 74. Do you think if your qualifying time would have been better, that you would have been able to keep pace with Austin Collins and maybe try to take this win away?
Oh man, I don't know. Austin was fast all night. Like it took everything I could just to even keep up with him, just within a tenth. So it would have been interesting to see, but man, having to balance that right front and make sure you don't burn it off, it was a challenge all night because it was just so tight trying to pass people.
At one point, we saw the 18 of Josh Taylor go down pit road about 8 or 9 laps sooner to get fresh rubber, come on out and see how much time he was able to make up on Austin Collins and see if it would keep him inside the top 5 in the long run. Was that a strategy that you could have possibly adopted? Maybe not 9 laps, maybe 5 laps sooner than the 74. That way you wouldn't have the oldest tires, or the difference in your tires wouldn't be so drastic as you completed what was another round of green flag pit stops and maybe matched them on speed later in the run.
It's certainly possible. I don't know that I would have been able to try and offset by at least 5 laps, maybe 2 or 3. We were discussing that the whole race of would the undercut just ever so slightly help, and I know Thomas tried it several times, and it was helping. He would catch up after the pit run, and then he would just fall off. So we were kind of just gauging that experience on whether or not we would do it ourselves, and we kind of just ended up going, we'll just run it out and hope for the best.
So Lime Rock Raceway next Sunday evening. How are you feeling about dodging some lefts and rights?
I think everyone's gonna have to dodge me because I'm gonna be all over the place. I'm looking forward to it because it sounds like fun, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be mowing the grass the most of the night.
Hey, smooth is steady, and you just gotta keep it on track. And I have no doubt you'll do just fine. A lot of these road courses are challenged to everybody, unless you're some of the other guys that we talk to in some different leagues. I'll just throw his name out there, talking about Andrew Wisdom for one, that we'll see tomorrow evening for the Shake and Bake iRacing Xfinity Series. But some people, road courses are just their cup of tea, where others not so much, like me. So we'll see you next week. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there, sir?
Yeah, thank everyone for watching. This was a fun race. Thanks everyone to Team Watson Racing for being on the truck. Appreciate them every week. And again, thanks to you, Pete, for broadcasting every week. It's been great.
I appreciate you. All right, I would say moving on up, but this guy did not move on up anywhere. The number 74 Toyota TRD machine for Austin Collins started on pole this evening and never, ever let it go. Austin, I don't know if it was the aggression level that you had getting on pit road, carrying max speed all the way to your pit stall, or the way that you got off pit road, not crossing the blend line, really mistake-free. At a couple points throughout the evening, we took a look at the right-hand side of your truck, not even a scrape. That 74 was on rails. You ran a flawless race, sir. Please walk us through it.
Yeah, it was all about management control pretty much there after the first pit stop. That first run, Kenny jumped out to the lead, and I just kind of sat behind him and just managed our stuff and tried to kind of drive away with him at one point, but they ended up catching us there at the end of it. And then I wasn't sure if I could pit or make another lap, so I pitted a lap early, and sounded like everybody else either had issues behind us getting on pit road, or we're just a little bit too conservative, and I just got that gap from undercutting on the very first lap and was able to just kind of stay ahead with the clean air. And I'm really surprised, to be honest. I thought they would catch me with the draft. First stop, there was 4 or 5 of them together, and I figured they would just, once they got together, would just start running me down. But I know I had some lap cars that kind of helped me out, and like I said, once I got that like 3 or 4 second gap, I just kind of was managing my race at that point, just running laps and keeping the right front on it, and making sure whenever I did make my pit stops to just get in, don't speed and don't slide your box, and just try and manage that gap. And there at the end, it ended up pulling out with the strategy a little bit, with everybody trying to undercut and try different strategies, like Andrew trying to. And I know that crossed my mind there at the end, but we just kept 4 tires and fuel and didn't change anything and just kept trying to run our pace. And at the end, that was thankfully enough to get the win here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Pizkemi and Chapman and Taylor, and even the 5 of Mike Miller for a while, kind of lining up and using the draft to try to catch up to you. They were actually doing that for a while and made some headway on catching up, but it seemed like as they got closer and closer to you, never within 2 seconds or so, but as they got closer and closer to you, it came to the end of the fuel run and everybody had to go down pit road and reset all over again. And it got to the point where they got a little bit of separation between them. Maybe one didn't go down pit road and the other 2 did, or all 3 did, but maybe didn't come off pit road together. Maybe had a little bit of an issue on entrance or exit, and they all got separated. But in the end, this race completely flawless for you. It's going to be max points. Starting on the pole, leading the most laps. You're gonna leave Fontana looking pretty good as far as all the points that you could get. What do you think about Lime Rock next week? Is that a track of contention, or you feeling pretty good with the lefts and rights?
I think it'll be pretty fun. I know, like I said, the trucks go there next year in real life, so why not go ahead and get some practice in? It'd be pretty cool to run Lime Rock. Going over that hump is something, especially I can't imagine how it's going to feel in a stock car with a bunch of other people right there with you. So hopefully it runs pretty well. I know it's pretty narrow there, and I don't know how passing's going to be, but I've gotten personally, I feel like I've gotten better at road courses. Hopefully I'll have a chance next week, and hopefully I'll be talking to you again. Hopefully.
Hey, it's always great to talk to everybody. Occasionally, new people, and we do our best to go through the field and make sure everybody gets equal time each and every race. And it's a great core group of drivers here in the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to shout out there, Austin?
Yeah, I gotta thank you, Pete, for doing the broadcast. It's gonna suck whenever you have to leave us for a little bit.
Yeah.
I always enjoy going back and watching it. It always gives me something to do. I always enjoy running here at Turn Down for What. So I gotta thank Papa and all the admins here, Justin and them for doing race control. Everybody that shows up every week. I know this week was a little bit not our normal field size, but still, like I said, it was a really good race. Shout out to all the drivers tonight for keeping it green all race. That was awesome. And then I got to thank Team Watson Racing as well for allowing me to be a part of their team and allowing me to fly their beautiful logo on this beautiful Toyota Tundra.
There you go. All right, so again, one more time, your top three: Austin Collins in the 74, Brian Piscemi in the 78, and Andrew Chapman bringing it home third, bottom step of the podium in that number 25. Been a phenomenal race, 120 laps for the NAV 120, presented by Cecil Ross, retired of our United States Army. If you need to know any more about the Network Alliance for Veterans, please visit their website, networkallianceforveterans.com, or you can reach out to Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross at cfrossnav@yahoo.com. I'm going to go ahead and put their website as well as the email address one more time into chat. Make sure you go on over. If you have any questions, if you live in the great state of Indiana or any of the surrounding states and you want to know about benefits that are available to you as a veteran, or maybe a family member that is a veteran, or you want to look at any of their programs like Leon's Heroes or the Hero Care program or anything else, go on over, send him an email, hook up with Lieutenant Colonel Ross. I promise you he will do everything that he possibly can to make sure you get the information that you need as quickly as possible. I tell you, it's an amazing program. Go find out everything that you possibly can about it. We will see you next Sunday night from Lime Rock. It's going to be interesting. A whole lot of lefts and rights, a lot of changes in elevation. Cannot wait to get there here in the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series. Have a good night, everybody.